It's your boy Online Davo, and we back with another video. Look, we got a video about EXO Speaks. This is why they are so defensive right now. Now let's get into this video and let's see what bro talking about. Come on.
The second you say white people are competing in ways that they didn't have to before, all of a sudden people hear something that you never said. And that misunderstanding is a reason why this moment feels so tense. They get defensive and hear it as nobody ever worked hard or everything you have is fake. That's not what's being said.
I was born dirt poor. Roaches in our food, mattresses on the floor, eviction notices taped to the doors, kind of poor. My parents, their side hustle was beating me and my siblings bloody. I missed more meals than I can count. When we did eat, it was ramen, canned foods, or whatever we could steal from the gas station.
We go out every day and we bust our f***ing asses because nothing is handed to us. And there will be nothing handed to us. You get your own channel, you get your own history month, you get your own special programs to get you into college. Now I need to get back in here and get to work.
Oh my gosh. It's like I feel like it's starting to become, you got one set of people who understand the system, they understand the white supremacy society that we live in. You got another set of people who could, you know, they're indifferent to it. They're like, you know, it's kind of fucked up, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And then we have another set of people who either try to fully deny it or they try to rewrite it and make it fit whatever narrative they want it to fit. You know what I'm saying? I do think most people fit in like the middle to like discrediting it or downplaying it, you know, because, you know what I'm saying, that's how society is, you feel me, with the propaganda and the agenda they be pushing, stay woke. But it's like, bro, you saying all government assistance and colleges and channels and history, that's all there for a reason. There's a reason why they had to make sure that our history is being shown. Even then, they only show the history that they are comfortable with. They're not showing the true history. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, shut up.
There ain't no program gonna pay my rent.
The real point is about how competition worked before, who got access, who didn't, and why things fell off now that those barriers have weakened. When people hear the word competition, they usually imagine a fair race. Same rules, same starting point, and same access. Everybody lines up, and whoever performs the best or works the hardest wins. But that image doesn't match how competition has really played out in America for most of its history. I'm not saying that white people didn't compete, but they competed primarily with other white people. They competed within a system that already decided who was allowed to participate and who wasn't. Entire groups of people were either excluded completely or restricted so heavily that competition was never actually fair to begin with. If you were enslaved, you weren't competing. If you were legally barred from education, you weren't competing. If you couldn't own land, couldn't vote.
I mean, shit, think of it like this, right? If you're on a track team and you whatever competition you win, where you have a podium, if it's only y'all two in y'all bracket, whether you lose or not, you're still gonna be second place. You're either gonna be first or second. You might end up with a silver or a gold. But if you competing with 4, 5, 6 different people, there's a chance your ass don't even make the podium. There's a chance you don't make it out of the first round. You feel me? But but since the beginning of history, they had set this system up in which that it's either they're the only two competing in the championship. You know what I'm saying? They're the only two people competing. Only one of them gonna come out with a championship, come out with a trophy. The other one, they get to celebrate. They shouldn't celebrate, but they get to, you know, be proud that they made it to the championship game, even though they were born into the championship game,
etc., etc., you were not competing. So when they say white people have always had to compete, that's not true. They competed inside of a system that dramatically reduced the number of competitors. That's not real.
Oh my God, look at them.
System that dramatically reduced the number of
Ooh, damn. They had the youngin' dressed up in this. That's crazy.
competitors. That's not real competition.
Weird. I never had anyone giving me a goddamn thing my entire life. But it's so funny because if you're poor and you're black right now, I would say the entire fucking country and world is catering to you. But it's weird. We forget about 80% of the country that is white trash, that has no sympathy, gets no empathy. They will never.
She said, if you're poor and you're black, the world is catering to you. poor and black, the people that get shitted on the most in damn near in society, my nigga, in America. Who gets shit on worse than a poor black person? Come on, bro. What?
Make it out of where they came from. They have no shot and no one cares about them.
Only people who buy the lie of white privilege are two people. Wealthy white people who erroneously attribute their soft lives to their skin color as opposed to their wealth. Right. And struggling non-white people, obviously this country has many, who erroneously attribute their struggles to their skin color, even though those struggles are the same struggles that struggling white people have.
What they're saying...
I don't view it that way. At least for me, how I interpret, I view it as white privilege is you being white has never got in the way of you. It has never been used against you. You get what I'm saying? On a grand scheme, within like a system, you being white has never been used against you. Someone being black, that could be historically used against them. It has been used against them. Someone being Asian, it could be used against them. Hispanic, it could be used against them. But you yourself being white, that has never been used against you in a negative light for you not to, you know what I'm saying, to get in your way. That has been an obstacle you never have to worry about. You feel me?
Only sounds reasonable to people that don't understand what white privilege is. I'm not about to go on a long rant about this because I already made an entire video on white privilege. Growing up poor means that you lacked money. White privilege is about how race affects how institutions treat you, not how much money your family had. Those are two completely different ball games. Poverty does not equal racial disadvantage. A poor white kid and a poor black kid both can struggle financially, but one is far less likely to be seen as threatening, one is more likely to get the benefit of the doubt, and one is less likely to be punished, surveillanced, or stereotyped because of race. Another thing, privilege is about what didn't happen to you. White privilege is not your life was easy or you never worked hard. It's you weren't assumed criminal because of your skin color, or your race wasn't used as evidence against you, or you weren't punished extra for existing while poor. Privilege is
your race wasn't used as a punishment against you. That's crazy, ain't it? Damn, XO speaks. Let that marinate though, bro. Like, what? That's what I'm saying. These white people that act like there's no white privilege, bro, they just like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Even white people know there's white privilege. Even they know. At least the ones that actually open up a book. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't about the pain you had, but it's about the pain you didn't have to carry in the first place. In the US, opportunity wasn't uneven by accident. It was designed that way. Slavery didn't just exploit labor. It removed black people from the competitive economy entirely. Redlining didn't just shape neighborhoods. It prevented generational wealth. Segregated schools controlled who got credentials and who didn't. Immigration laws openly prioritize Europeans while restricting everybody else. And that's only scratching the surface, because you have other things like Mississippi appendectomy, periodigo, black codes, environmental racism, etc. The list goes on and on. And some of these things are still happening today. I've said that before and I'll keep saying it. And all of this is piled up.
Bro, they done tried so many ways to get us gone, man. They done tried so many ways. It's funny, but it ain't at the same time. Because like, damn, what we ever do to you? But it's also funny because it's like, bro, we still here. You know what I'm saying? We still here doing what we do.
Generation after generation. It limited how many people could realistically build wealth or access power. And when fewer people are allowed inside the race, the people already inside it don't have to outperform as many others in order to succeed. Now, that doesn't mean that every white person benefited equally, but it does mean that the system reduced competition in ways that benefited them directly. And because those advantages were built into the system, the people benefiting from them barely noticed they existed. This present moment feels so different to so many white people because the barriers that filtered out competition have weakened. I'm not saying they disappeared, I'm not saying that they reversed, and I'm not saying that they went away, but they've weakened enough to matter. Now minorities can access education legally at scale. Black women can enter jobs that were historically closed off to them, and information is less tightly controlled by elite institutions. Credentials are more profitable, and hiring practices face at least some level of public scrutiny. Not all the time, but they're starting to face more. Again, I'm not saying that it's disappeared completely, but I am saying that it has weakened a little bit. So now white folks are competing with people whose ability was...
It's improved a little bit. It got a little bit better. But just like you said, I forgot who said it. You stabbed me in the back with a knife for 9 inches, you pulled out 3 inches. That don't do shit for me. It's still in my back, bro. Nigga, you still stabbing me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take it out, sew me up, get me treated, give me the meds, the right meds, give me a nice in-home care doctor, all that. Because you the one that stabbed me. You gotta do that for me. You stabbed me, and then you expect me to heal myself, but then you don't get mad at me because I'm healing up slowly? Nigga, I was never prepared to get stabbed in the back. I didn't have all these bandages and people on speed dial. Like, what? Come on, man.
Was always there. They just never had the same level of access before.
DEI is racist. And yes, this is the time to talk about it, because the government, a lot of corporations, universities, academics, people all over the United States have dug into society and embedded this cancer everywhere. And you damn well know, if you've been a victim of it, you know what it feels like to have busted your ass and not gotten promoted or not gotten a job because you didn't meet some BS quota. And now...
Oh my God. Bro, what? They complain about the shit black people have been dealing with for centuries. Centuries they have been complaining about. It's just like with the ICE shit and the Renee Good and Pretty getting shot. It's just like with that. They see how I feel to be like, yo, they just blatantly lying on us. Yes, they will blatantly lie on you. They have been doing that to us this whole time. But you have chose to believe the lies. You get it? But this is what I noticed too. It's society, we have been, you know, programmed to view whiteness as pure, as they would never lie. They would never do these bad things. We have been programmed to view them like that. So them getting shot and killed in the streets, oh, nah, something's going wrong. Yo, the system is out of whack right now. What's happening in my country? Why are they treating these people like this? They have been doing that to us forever. But we have been viewed as subhuman, or the lowest human out there. Out of all the humans, we're the lowest valued. So it's like, all right, we get shot. It's like, damn, man, they gotta stop. Can y'all stop police brutality? Then they go on about their day. A white person gets shot. Yo, we have to go out here and march. Let's start setting up these organizations. Let's start doing these GoFundMes. Let's do this, that, and the third. Hey, man. I'm trying to tell you, bro. That lets you know. Weak mentally. Weak mentally.
White men are being replaced in every country in which they reside. America was a majority white country for 400 years almost, and now it's not going to be in a matter of 10.
I asked you to show me where Charlie Kirk was racist. All I got is the DEI comments, and he doesn't want a black pilot. Yeah, neither do I, and neither do hundreds of thousands of people. I don't want a woman pilot either. Don't blame us for this shit. You can blame the Democrats and all the fake-ass bleeding hearts out there for having DEI, which is basically saying, hey, black people, minorities, we know you're too incapable, so all right, we'll hire you. We'll skip over people that are actually qualified. We need equality. Even if you're not qualified, yeah, you can.
And if you grew up believing that the system was neutral, that shift probably feels unfair to you. It probably feels like rules have changed mid-game, even though the rules were never fair to begin with. You were just taught and conditioned to believe that they were. That's why you see racist outbursts becoming more public, why racist groups are organizing now more than ever, and why you see slogans like
frustration. They're frustrated. What? I've been told about this system this whole time, and I'm not able to benefit from it? Yeah, sorry, AI's here, buddy. Yep, you got even more competition. Okay? So hopefully you're not voting for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you're staying aware of what's goes against your interests in life. You know what I'm saying? You think DEI the problem? It's not. You know what I'm saying? But they want you to believe that. They want you to believe black people are the problem. We ain't your problem, bro.
no more white guilt popping up left and right. It's all backlash. It's a response to the weakening of a system that a lot of them depended on. For generations, white people were promised stability. They were taught that if they followed the rules, then things would mostly work out for them. Respect was assumed. Competence was assumed. And authority didn't have to be explained or defended. So when that default status starts to weaken, it doesn't feel like equality to them. It feels like loss, even when nothing tangible was taken away. Because privilege doesn't feel like privilege when it's normal. It feels like the default. And when the default changes, people interpret that as something that's being taken from them instead of something that's being corrected. And that emotional reaction, not logic, is what really fuels them. Another reason this conversation gets distorted is because people treat white dominance as if it's ancient and universal. It's not. For most of human history, European societies were not the global standard. African empires dominated trade and education. Asian civilizations led science, engineering, and systems of governance. So European dominance is a relatively short chapter in human history, and it was built through colonization, slavery, resource extraction, and military force. It didn't happen.
Shit, so are you telling me that the reason they are viewed as this dominant force is because they had to piggyback off the work of other people, other races and ethnicities? Then they turn around and shame those same races and ethnicities? Are you telling me that?
Because they're just the greatest thing to ever walk the earth. So what's happening now isn't some unnatural collapse. It's rebalancing towards something much closer to historical reality. And rebalancing always feels unfair to the people that benefited most from the imbalance. So this is where white grievance enters the picture, right? Grievance isn't just about hardship, because hardship is something that everybody experiences at some point in their lives. People lose jobs, relationships fall apart, and things don't always go according to plan. That part is universal. Grievance forms when those hardships collide with expectations that were never questioned in the first place, and there's no framework to understand why that collision happened. Many white people were raised to believe that if they just did what they were supposed to, the system would eventually work out in their favor. And to a large extent, it has been that way. This country is set up for white people to succeed. They weren't necessarily...
It has been set up from the beginning. This has been set up from the beginning for white men to dominate, to be viewed in a certain light. I'm gonna keep it real. But, you know, times change. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you gotta go out there and earn your rank. You feel me? Just like he said, they have been told their whole life, if you do the right thing, eventually, it's gonna work out. Eventually, it's gonna work out. But we have been told you could do the right thing, and it still might not work out. We have been shown that. We have been shown that you could fight for justice. You could be an upstanding citizen in your community. You could have a prestigious job that everybody respects, but you're still viewed as a nigga. Hey, man, this the system y'all put in play. We got to be the ones to make it even. We got to be the ones to make sure it get balanced. You know, people are all for equality. They're all for equal standing until they're the ones that's not benefiting. Straight up.
Promised that life would be perfect, but that effort would translate into stability, respect, and a sense of being on solid ground. And that expectation becomes part of how people see themselves and their place in the world, even if they never say it out loud. So when the system stops clearing the pathway like how it has before, the first instinct is never to interrogate the system itself. Most people don't start by questioning economic restructuring, policy decisions, or historical shifts in power, because a lot of times those explanations are complicated and emotionally unsatisfying in the moment. Instead, their frustrations look for something that's concrete, something that's visible. It looks...
You're black. You are the problem with society right now. You, because you're black. Instead of it being, you know, these politicians, these corporations, everybody doing all this little backhand deal shit, you know what I'm saying? Instead of all that, you gonna blame it on the black dude down the street. That's why your taxes went up. Okay, bro.
For something that feels immediate and personal. And that's why the blame usually lands on black people. Not because we caused the problem, but because we're the most visible.
Why are you buying? How do you have money to buy all this bread?
Security, please. I need a security. Get away from me.
I'm just asking, how can white people can't fill a shopping cart, but these come in our country?
What that got to do with us? With her?
Can somebody call me a security, please?
And they come in this country. These ones too. What are you guys doing? You gonna fill up a whole shopping cart? Are you gonna fill a whole shopping cart up?
Don't talk to me.
When
why he ain't say all that tough shit with him? See, that's what I'm saying, bro. These niggas, you gonna fill up a shopping cart? You gonna fill up a shopping? Nigga, is you? Or you gonna go around all day filming other people's shopping carts? Come on, man. Teach your people how to advance in life. Give them some motivation. All you is feeding them hate. See, these people, their motivation is hatred. That gets them going every day. You feel me? That gives them the opportunity to, I don't know what it is, what they're trying to achieve necessarily, but every day they choose to hate. When they can be choosing to follow people who are motivational, to follow people who will give them a framework, a flow chart on how to get to the next level in life, but they rather follow people who blame DEI on why they can't get a job. Hey, man.
New faces in workplaces or different voices in different social spaces. When people feel uncomfortable, they look for something that they can point to. Whatever feels new becomes the suspect, even if the real forces behind all of this are invisible. Because systems don't have faces or voices. You can't argue with them, and you can't confront them emotionally. But people, on the other hand, are visible. So resentment moves sideways instead of upward. It gets aimed at us instead of the economic and political systems that actually control the outcomes. And when that resentment gets fed stories about favoritism or special treatment, that's when it starts to harden. And at that point, it starts to feel personal. Equality feels like exclusion to them, and losing guaranteed status feels like discrimination. It turns into a story about how something was taken from them. That shift is what turns frustration into grievance. Not just anger about struggling, but anger pointed towards a target that had nothing to do with any of it, even if it feels wrong. This is not the end of opportunity for white people. It's still a long way to go. It's just the safety net that's been under them has slightly been weakened. That's it. The systems that
they feel a little wobbly and it's like, whoa, what the fuck? They start getting a little nervous. That platform they've been so high and mighty on, it's starting to get a little wobbly. Now, there's going to be people out there who don't care because they're going to do what they're going to do regardless. But the ones that are coming on here complaining about people talking about the white privilege that there is in society, the ones that's complaining about that, those are the ones that can't compete. Those are the ones I'd rather complain than go out there and dominate and do what they got to do. You see, growing up as a black person, you probably heard this. You got to work 4 times as hard to be viewed just as good. I feel like every black person done heard that at least one time. You feel me? So it automatically instilled in, all right, if you want to make it, you gotta work hard. It ain't gonna be given to you, bro. It ain't gonna be no, you know what I'm saying? Oh, here you go because nah, bro. You're gonna have to work for that shit. But if you go up in a different point of view of society, a totally different way you view life, if you go up a certain way in which you're like, I just gotta be a little bit over average and I can have a pretty good, successful life. I can work my way up in a company, middle management, have own a home, maybe a retirement home, a rental home somewhere else in the mountains with my wife and 3 kids and my dog. All I gotta do is be above average? Fuck it, let's do it. Nah, bro. More people entering that field, the talent level is gonna go up. Simple as that.
That reduced competition for centuries are starting to weaken because they were never sustainable to begin with. What we're seeing now is not oppression replacing privilege. It's certainty being replaced with uncertainty. Equality doesn't promise anyone success. It just means that the race is real. And for the first time in American history, white people are finally getting a small taste of what that actually
feel like. Hey, shout out XO Speaks for the video. You did your thing. Hey, man, like I said, bro, this maybe because I haven't been paying attention, but since I have been paying attention to the race relations that's going on in this country, it's crazy seeing in real time the way that people try to rewrite things, the way people react, the general public react to white people being killed and black people being killed, and how they're trying to spin narratives and all the propaganda they're trying to do in real time, the lying they do in real time. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I get it, though. I kind of get it, because imagine you told your whole life, yo, all I got to do is just be cool. All I got to do is be decent, above average, and I'm going to live a good life. Fuck it, let's do it. Imagine you get told all that. You get into your 20s, you start seeing white people getting shot. You're getting told that black people are taking your jobs because of DEI. You're getting told that. Of course you're going to be mad. You're going to be angry. if you don't live in reality, if you never had to worry about working hard in your life, yeah, you're gonna be mad. But if you someone that's gonna do what you're gonna do any day of the week, it don't matter if there's more competition because you're not focused on everybody else. You focused on you. You feel me? So it is what it is, man. People rather complain than change. I'm gone. Peace.